I know I said I was going to see these last two episodes in cinema, but I didn't realize that it would have cost me money because, I have a subscription for my local cinema, which means I can see films for free, but not this one, apparently. It would have cost £18 for the ticket. So, nah. Anyway, I don't get why they need to, fucking open the floodgates for the TARDIS to get in. It's the TARDIS that can teleport, you know? Um, Also, the fact that they have fake Rose and some midget on a Segway is giving me, fucking vibes of this is what Mad Max would be like if there were no apocalypse. It's only been a couple of seconds. I already have, I don't even know how many things to say. So, one, I'm going to definitely forget a couple of these. One, are they just going to ignore the fact that Ruby already met Kate? I mean, I get that technically it was decanonized because of the way that the episode ended, but still, I don't mind it, it's confusing. Two, this kid, again, unless this actually is someone with some sort of condition that, prevents them from growing, and they genuinely are, 13 years old, and not a child pretending to be 13 years old, that's fine, but if you're trying to, do a thing, don't. It's not really working. Also, I don't know if she's not in this shot, but there was another character called Harriet. I have a feeling her last name's going to be Jones. I don't get why we keep on getting all these fucking new characters that are named after old characters, but they have nothing to do with the old characters. Rose Noble, possibly Harriet. Ruby is quite similar to Rose, the real Rose. It's just it kind of reminds me of in Sherlock, where they end of season 3, they're like, oh, Mycroft, or not Mycroft, Moriarty's coming back, only for him to not really come back. I might be wrong. I picked the wrong bit to pause at. Look at his face. But I haven't seen the original era of RTD since 2017. But didn't season 1 also have a thing where Bad Wolf was an anagram of something? It seems to be that Russell keeps on taking his ideas from stuff that he already wrote. And it could be that, he's trying to improve on it when he just isn't, he's making it worse. But it's unoriginal. We've already seen this before. You're kind of disappointed that there's no evidence of someone being evil. If it were me, I've found there's something suspicious going on. This woman keeps on appearing everywhere throughout time. So maybe there's some sort of evil scheme going on. So I investigate it, I find no evidence. That is not a bad thing. That is a good thing. Now, obviously that doesn't automatically mean that she's not a bad person. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. But, it almost kind of sounds like you want to, go after her. I don't know what unit, I don't know why I shouted that there. I don't know what unit in this season are going to be like, because I feel like they've rebranded at least 3 times now already. So, but, it kind of feels like they're like, oh, fuck, I really wanted to punish her. Al. I don't have a problem with Mel, especially since I'm nowhere near that point in the classic coup where she comes in. I'm still on season 3 when she's in, I think she starts in Peter Davison's era, so somewhere around season 20. So, I don't I've not really got a grasp on her yet, because the only time I really see her is when she's making reappearances in the current show. But I'm getting a bit tired of it. Like, the amount of times that she's popped up in the past couple of years, because she has an appearance here, she had an appearance in David Tennant's last episode as 14. I think she had an appearance in a couple of Jodie Whittaker's last episodes, and it's just, bring back someone else, for God's sake. Like, maybe, I don't know the name of the actress who plays Mel, but maybe she's the only one willing to come back. But just, it's a bit repetitive. Like, God forbid someone in the tech world who, I have a feeling this person is going to be a metaphor for Elon Musk. You know, God forbid a tech billionaire be nice. The fact that Rose is so much taller than Ruby just... it does kind of remind me of, like, in sports and shit where they have trans women competing and they just obliterate their real women counterparts. That was quite awkward. The fact that Miss Flood, who... I'm a bit confused, because I thought that the woman that keeps on appearing was Mrs. Flood, like Mrs. Flood actress, but no. Turns out that it's this Susan Trad person who may be Susan Foreman, which, I mean, I have a problem with that, because, you know, Susan, first person to leave the show, doctor said he'd be back. 60 years later, he didn't come back. I swear that she appeared in, like, one of Jodie's last episodes, but apparently not, and it's just... I'm glad that they're finally doing it, but it's just, I don't like the way that it's happening. I think they were better off just returning to, like, 25 whatever year that she was in, and just showing, like, the sort of aftermath of the Dalek War. Yeah. But it is what it is. Anyway, the fine Miss Flood, she was like, "Oh, look at you, you're so pretty. You're alright." What makes Rose pretty and Ruby not? What is Ruby missing? What does Rose, in air quotes, have that Ruby doesn't? Yeah, Paul's too soon. It was a growth spurt. Men are genetically taller than women. I get that that excuse my stutter. I get we do have, like, freakishly tall women, but, you know, if we're talking averages here, men are taller than women. Same way that, on average, men are stronger than women. If you just, you know, demonstrate how secure unit is by saying that the Prime Minister can't get in, that's fine. But that bit where the kid turns around and is like, especially the Prime Minister. You know, the Prime Minister is doing exactly what you want. The only reason why you don't like him is because he claims to be a Tory, even though he isn't. I looked it up, it turns out the kid is... He's 15 in real life. So, obviously he does have some sort of condition that prevents him aging normally. But it's just... having him here seems... Right, here's the problem. I have a friend who doesn't like the show. He put on an episode and it was just too random for him. And this is, like, sort of it. When I initially watched Matt Smith's run, I thought, he's trying too much. He's too random. He's too silly. And that's going to sort of turn people off from the show because they think it's just some dumb kids show with no intelligence to it, when, clearly, at times, the show does. And it's just, I love weird things, but it's just, it doesn't sit right having this kid here. If you're going to have someone with a disability like that, then at least get an adult. Like, just at the very least. I forgot to mention, but the twist that Mrs. Flood is a villain, like, not just a villain, but the villain, it was predictable. I think they did something in the Christmas special that I just don't remember because it was over 6 months ago. But, they did something that made it obvious. I think she, looked at the camera and talked to the camera, like, the audience directly. That, when I seen that, I was like, yeah, she's definitely going to be someone more important, most likely a villain. Like, was that a reference to, like, that time that Theresa May danced on stage? Because Theresa May was 3 prime ministers ago, and I'm pretty sure it happened at, her first year as prime minister, so it would have been 8 years ago. So it's very, very outdated. It's kind of like saying a President Trump guy, he fucking sucks. He's not president anymore though. Oh. I hate it when in films and shit when a character is very clearly possessed or something like that, and all the friends like, are you okay? What are you on about? When, it's obvious that either she's being possessed by whatever the fucking thing is, or she is it. Like a sort of Agatha all along situation, just done nowhere near as well. WandaVision, very underrated. I'm glad that they didn't call her Harriet Jones, but still, really? Harriet Arbinger? Like, that's... I don't even know what to say, just... fuck off. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but what I will say is the death of that guy, it was done quite well. It's kind of like when the snap happened in Infinity War. It wasn't done as well, of course, but still, I'm impressed. Based on the events that's going to happen, or the events that have happened so far, I think this is going to end with, the Doctor, maybe not necessarily time travel, but he's going to undo what has been done since Ruby's mum and grandmum have died. But it got me thinking about how there have been other times where there have been mass extinction events in this universe, and they never did anything to make sure that it never happened. So they did still happen. Sorry to sort of be crying. And it just, point is, I was thinking the amount of people that have died from events like these, and the people still are happy, they're still hopeful. It is quite inspiring. I don't like the fact that they've changed the time vortex to fit in with the title sequence for the show, because the way that it worked was that when the show got rebooted, that the title sequence is shown the time vortex. That is the black hole that the TARDIS goes through in order to travel in time and space. And then the last time that they used that was for the end of time, where the Time Wars tried at the end time. That resulted in the time vortex being damaged quite a bit. which is why it looks more like a storm in the first Matt Smith title sequence, and then the last Matt Smith title sequence was it mostly repaired, and it was fine. Keeping it that way, it's not like it was able to fix itself for good. The Time Lords did far too much damage to it in order to fix it to perfection. So it just doesn't make sense that they keep on changing the time vortex, because nothing has happened to change it. And you might say, oh, but the flux are the fact that the Time Lords cracked open the sky in order to give Matt Smith I guess infinite regenerations. It doesn't make sense. I don't like the fact that they keep on acting as if the Doctor is the last of the Time Lords. I didn't mind it originally, but now we don't know what happened to Susan. And I would say it's a safe bet to assume that she's still alive, considering she wasn't on Gallifrey at the time of the Time War, because the Time War is what caused it. Literally every other Time Lord, the Doctor included, was on Gallifrey at the time of the Time War. Except for Susan. And there's also the fact that just the Master keeps on coming back, even though he seemingly dies all the time. Let's be real here. The Master will come back probably in the next season. Whether it be John Sim again or someone else, we don't know yet. I do like the fact that they're sort of basically just saying that the Doctor is the god of life itself. Sort of like a parallel to the fact that Sutekh is the god of death. I do heavily agree with that. It sort of expands upon Stephen Moffat's theory that, the Doctor is... Shit, what was it? I don't remember now, to be honest with you. I know it's been a while since, the last... Hell, I think the last video I made was in the last episode. I haven't really had much to say about this one, because I don't really have a problem with it. It's not the best, been waiting 6 months for this, only for it to be but there's nothing really that wrong with it. The only thing is I was confused about the that bit where the Doctor goes to this woman, and the woman's like, oh, there used to be an opera house over there, was I a singer? I don't know. I don't understand that. Maybe they're setting up something for season 16, but I'm not sure. Or 15. I don't know. This reveal that Ribby's mum is, let's be honest, a nobody. I get what they're trying to do, but it's the same. It was the same thing with Broadchurch in season 1, where Olivia Colman's husband just confesses instead of them actually, getting the evidence for it. They're trying to do something different, but it just didn't work out. It didn't have that climax when he just outright confesses instead of them finding out themselves. And it's the same with this. They spend the last 7 episodes, 8 if you include the Christmas special, sort of hyping up Ruby's mum to be someone special, but she's not. I get what they're trying to do, but it just didn't really work out. The fact that Ruby's mum would just sort of point at the sign that says Ruby Road, and that was her naming her, that makes no sense, because no one was there to see her. And also, why is she wearing a fucking robe like that? That just... What ordinary person wears that? Also, just to reveal that she was named after the road that she was born, well, not born on, but, the fact that she was named after Ruby Road, that wasn't, that was obvious, at least to me, but I think it would be obvious to most people. You know, the name of the Christmas special was The Church on Ruby Road. The character's name is Ruby. I wonder, and they revealed that, you know, that's where she was left. I wonder how the fuck she got the name Ruby. Also, I mean, fucking, did you not learn from the Solo movie? Like, we don't want a Solo prequel movie to know why we call him Han Solo. We want a Solo prequel movie because we want to see how he became the character that he is, not the fucking name. That bit at the end where Ruby meets her real mum for the first time, that was very, very well done. Like, the emotion is spot on. And just the rest of the episode was great. And I'm quite excited for it coming back at Christmas. There's one more thing I want to say. Before I watched this season, you know, I was aware that Disney would start producing it and all that. Like, it's not just that they now own the international rights to it. Like, they actually produce it now, which is why the budget is so much higher than when Jodie was in it. But I got into a sort of argument with someone on Instagram because they were saying, oh no, Disney don't produce it at all, they just have the international rights to it. Well, if that were true, Disney's name would not be here. Because I'm watching this on iPlayer, I'm not watching this on BBC. I am from the UK where it's not on Disney. Like, you know, Netflix own the international rights to Peaky Blinders and Better Call Saul. But, you know, when I watch Peaky Blinders on iPlayer, it doesn't give Netflix in the credits. And I bet you if you watch Better Call Saul on AMC in America, it doesn't say Netflix in the credits either. Point being, that Disney do in fact produce the current season of Doctor Who. Like, that's not... I don't know why we need to fight over this. Well, I mention overall, the episode itself is but the season was pretty good. You know, some of the most unique episodes in the franchise's history. It's just a shame that they've dialed the woke up to 11. to 11.